We are live.
All right, good morning and welcome to the Clayton County Library System at Forest Park. My name is Erica Ware. I'm the branch librarian here at Forest Park, and I would like to welcome you to Coffee with the Librarian with Director Parham.
Good morning. Thank you again, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with a Librarian. My name is Scott Parham. I'm the director for the Clayton County Library System. And as is usually the case, we have questions that have been submitted that I will address. And we have some guests in the room that also may have some questions. So we will just have a conversation and hopefully we'll get some questions that you may have answered and also tell you some things that are going on with the library system that you may not already be aware of. So with that, Kim, what we got this morning?
Good morning.
Hello.
So our first question is something I'm really excited to hear the answer for. I would like to know if the library has a mobile library bus to come specifically to Riverwood Apartment Complex in Jonesboro.
Fantastic question. We are currently in the works of securing a bookmobile. We received a grant year before last for a bookmobile, and it's currently being customized for Clayton County Library System. It's going to be several more months before it's available, but once we do have it, we intend on taking it out to the entire Clayton County community. So in addition to the apartment complex mentioned, we will be going to other neighborhoods, other apartment complexes. We will be at outreach events, health fairs, all kind of community events. So stay tuned, and I think you'll be very excited once we get it up and rolling. We're very excited also about having it.
Okay. Are there instructions on how to access Georgia Pines online over the weekend if I'm using my devices at home?
All of our libraries are open Monday through Saturday, so there should be some help available. We also have a chat feature on our website if it's after hours. Now, we are closed on Sunday, so I hope if the question didn't come in trying to get some assistance on Sunday, but our hours on Saturday are from 9 to 5. So I do hope that if you have issues in the future, if you're unable to come in and have one of our staff help walk you through that, give us a call, and hopefully we can resolve any issues you may have with Georgia Pines.
Do you have any tools for children in grades 4 and 6 that are gifted with special needs for checkout at the library?
We have recently added to our collection what we're calling social emotional learning backpacks. And we have procured a couple of different types of backpacks. One of them has Legos, and it is specific for emotional challenges. Matter of fact, the book bag contains one Lego Build Me Emotions kit, which contains 8 faces and 180 bricks, 9 emotions, etc. So that is one of the newer resources that we've added to our collection. And one of the other ones is a Play-Doh emotional learning backpack as well. So I'm not sure if it's specific to the grade levels that are mentioned, the 4th and 6th, but we are incorporating more and more resources for emotional students, or students that have emotional issues.
Okay, so our next question is a biggie.
It's a biggie,
It's
okay.
a biggie. The Zoo Pass. Patrons are wondering if we can access new Zoo Passes, or if patrons come in and request passes. How can we help the patrons get the Zoo Pass?
Ooh, you're right, that is a biggie. Well, it's I wouldn't say it's a biggie, but it's a consistent issue that we kind of face with the library system. The state library system, the Georgia Public Library Service, has a partnership or formed a partnership with the Atlanta Zoo, to where we have in all of the public libraries throughout the state, We have passes that folks can check out, and it allows a family or household of 4 people to go to the zoo. Every branch was issued a zoo pass and a backup zoo pass. And what has become the case is that folks are checking the passes out, and it's a physical, it's like a DVD. It comes a DVD case. There's a very short DVD inside that tells you about the Atlanta Zoo. And folks are checking that out. But I think where the issue is, where there's a breakdown in the communications, that physical DVD or zoo pass is not what is needed to access or to gain entry into the zoo. Once you check the zoo pass out, you have 24 hours, you bring it back, and then we will print out a receipt for you. It is that receipt that you take to the zoo in order to gain entrance. And so I think there's a misconception with folks who check out the actual DVD pass, that they think that's what gains them access. And so they hold on to it, thinking that if they hold on to it, they can use it multiple times. And that's not the case. We have tried to build in safeguards again so that privilege is not abused. And so that is a process that's in place. Unfortunately, the partnership with the State Library, GPLS, and the zoo only allows us to have a certain number of passes. We have 6 locations currently. I think we have had an initial round of passes, and GPLS was gracious enough to supply us with replacement passes. But at this time, there's been no discussions about giving us additional replacement passes. So if anyone is out there, if you do have one of our zoo passes and have not brought it back or returned it, we would ask that you would please return it. Because it's a hot item. It's summertime. Families are going to want to take their families to the zoo. And without having the actual pass, it's kind of affecting the entire community. So please, if you've got it, return it and allow another family to use it. So.
While we're on the topic of passes, are there any new passes that we're offering at the Clayton County Library?
Well, we haven't gotten the release yet for partnerships that are coming up in 2024, but we do have other passes that are available. We have the State Park Pass, which allows you entrance into some of our state parks, which is very handy, especially during the summer. Again, you can get out, family. We have the Alliance Theater Pass. We have the Carlos Museum Pass. Trying to think what else. Clayton County residents are fortunate enough to have the Spivey Splash Pass. Say that 10 times. The headquarters library has Spivey Splash passes that you can check out. And I think it's a checkout period of up to 2 weeks. 1 week with, I think, a 1 week renewal for that. And allows, again, a family of 4 access to the Splash Park. And so we're very excited about that partnership with our Parks and Recreation Department. And so if you haven't been, it's a wonderful location. It's been upgraded, and it's a fantastic venue for the county. So please stop by our headquarters library to check out those passes.
Okay, awesome. Let's go to the audience and see if we have any questions.
I hope so. We just had a nice group come in and nice audience this morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing very well. My name is Timothy Austin, and I'm with November Growth Consortium with J. City Medical Center. And we provide VIP quality care and Medicare help for seniors. And just trying to find ways. We're always trying to find ways to engage the community. But what are some ways that we can work with the library system to support off the library, but also help our centers grow as well?
Absolutely. That's a fantastic question. As you're probably well aware, the library system is very integral to our Clayton County community as a whole. And we form partnerships with agencies that bring services to the community that aren't just wanted, but they're needed. And so after the session, I would love a chance to sit down and we can talk just exactly about what you had in mind, and we can talk further about it and establish a partnership and bring your services to the community. I think it's a great idea.
I'm gonna be a little short on time, but perhaps I can give you my card, maybe 10 minutes or so before the session, because we end at 12, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, we'll end when folks stop asking questions. So I'm here at your disposal. So we're good to go.
Thanks.
Sure. Good morning.
Good morning, Parham ladies. My name is Clayton, and I am the coordinator for the Forest Park Senior Center. And so we received in partnership with the Square about things that are happening now. So we decided since we didn't have to make coffee this morning, we would come and have coffee with you guys. I'm going to my second year as a senior coordinator. Prior to 3 years, I was a recreation coordinator for the city of Forest Park. And because we're not affiliated with Clayton County Senior Services Centers, I try to make sure that we are knowledgeable of things that are going on in Clayton County.
Sure.
My director, Tariq Maxwell, has a bridge for Clayton County Services because that's where he comes from with recreation in Clayton County. However, I have some ladies that joined us this morning, and I know that on Wednesday we're doing some computer work training from 2 to 5 in the evening.
Okay.
The problem with that, it's a great idea, it's just the time frame.
Okay.
So maybe we can work where we can do something more during the day, to get them more acclimated to how to use the computers. Because last month was Older Americans Month. And so we did a series on protecting them against elder abuse. We had someone come in from Clayton County as well, talk about those things like scams, how to keep from getting your money taken, or just to keep your money as often as you can, and things like that. And a lot of things are computerized these days, and everybody has a smartphone. They may or may not be proficient in using them, but the older we get, we still have to grow.
Absolutely.
And because we're in an electronic world, I would like for them to have as much access as possible to learning how to use computers, just basic sign on, like things that are going to be taught on Wednesday and things like that. But I would like to know, as a Clayton County library system operating within the city of Forest Park, how can you guys offer more things for us to come, or even maybe you can come to us? I know we're getting ready to upgrade our computer systems over there because we only have a few, but there has been money allocated to get us new computers. And so it may be easier for someone to come to us than for me to bus everyone over here. I don't know. We'll talk about that partnership. And I'm glad you mentioned Gen Care. So we have a good relationship with Gen Care. Our community's representative, Carly Wood, is our person that builds that connection between us and Gen Care. So our senior center has been long and strong. However, I'm trying to do a little bit more.
Okay.
The fact that I'm here now, and as often as I can, I get us out into the community. We go out of our community, but just to keep us active. And we have a lot of things that are going to be coming up with our new city manager, Mr. Ricky Clark Jr. Has promised to make that senior center just as good as the rest of them in Clayton County.
Okay.
And so I'm more than happy to work with him in that effort to make sure that my seniors get whatever's out there for them.
Sure.
And I just want to say, prior to coming to the senior center as a coordinator, my mother was the oldest person that I've known.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I have a newfound knowledge of what it's like to be Asian. And so I'm kind of just every day marveling, just saying, it sucks to get old, but the alternative, we know what the alternative is.
We do.
So,
We do. And
so we welcome you, sir.
if we are blessed to live a long, fruitful life, absolutely. Everything that was mentioned, I don't want to go off script too much, but yeah, we're down. Whatever, we got you. I mean, because of the geographical restrictions or whatnot, we're all in the same family. And so I'll put you in touch with Erica. The digital equity classes, I think that you mentioned, that would be going on Wednesday. If we can talk with the facilitators of that program to adjust the time so that it's more beneficial for you and you have better turnout, I'm sure they would, blink an eye at that. So I welcome the partnerships, the resources that we have, the ideas that you have that we can collaborate on. I think it's wonderful, and I look forward to it. Sure. We've got networking going on already. Good thing.
You ever get a question, Laura?
I see we've got some folks that
Do you
coffee.
still do library cards?
We do. We
So
absolutely.
if you guys want to get a library card, we'll talk to Ms. Merrill, and you can come at your leisure, for different things that they are offering, and as much as they have, I'll make sure it gets down to you guys, just in case it's a day that we're not at the center. Make sure that you can, come to the library to take part in what they have going on.
Sure. And the library also offers what we call one-on-one tech help. So you mentioned maybe that learning curve with some of the technology that's out there, and even with the computers that are being used. My mom recently got a new iPhone, and she probably uses about a quarter of all of the apps and things on it. I don't have an iPhone, I have an Android, but she's asking me, how do I use this thing? And so guess what? I then have to call somebody who's more familiar with the iPhone, and usually it's one of my staff, like, how do you do this? What does this button do? But we have staff that are very patient. They are very knowledgeable, and I don't want any feelings or internal feelings that you may be looked at a certain way because you don't know a certain thing. Not at all. Not at all. Please come into the libraries, get with Miss Erica over here and her staff, and she will walk you through how to use the device. It's June, if you can imagine it, the year is flying by. It's going to be Christmas soon, and we may be getting those electronic devices as presents and gifts for Christmas. And you get that new tablet or laptop, you're like, how do I use this thing? How do I even turn it on? And so we are here for you. So please come in and utilize it. Yes, please.
You still have to, take pictures of the, library. Every time we come to the library, for the seniors, we have to take pictures to verify we are who we say we are.
No, we don't currently have that policy in place. For getting a library card, we ask that you verify your residency to make sure you're a Clayton County resident. But as far as a picture, that's not a requirement that we have. So, yeah, so just bring in driver's license or a form of ID that has your current address. That's okay.
That's all I was talking about. But before, I had to take a picture ID
Oh, okay.
on the library.
Gotcha.
So when I get ready to come to the library, they have my whole information. I'm the resident.
Yes, and it's more so the verification of the address as opposed to that lovely picture you may have. But we do want to make sure that whoever is coming to check out those materials is the right person.
Okay.
And so, yes, but we'll get you squared away. It sounds like you have a card already, so.
Yeah, library card,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, that's what I'm talking about, with your picture on.
Got it.
Oh, no, that's on Tuesday, you don't get every day.
That's it, we're gonna see every week.
Any other questions?
I'm sorry.
Do you guys have any more questions with that?
What are some things that you would like to see in the library? Or things that are more focused or geared towards seniors? What are some ideas that we could possibly do that we don't currently offer outside of the computer?
Well, I don't read as well as others, but
Okay.
I try to learn as much as I can.
Okay,
But I'm a slow learner.
gotcha.
Some people don't have patience with the city. And they get frustrated, I get frustrated, I say, well,
we want to change that. Are you familiar with audiobooks? Okay, audiobooks are books that we have a recording of. So somebody took the time to read the entire book and you just sit back and listen to it. And so we have different devices where you could just sit back if you are at home crocheting or if you're at the grocery store or traveling, and you can listen to the entire book on a device, on your phone or on a tablet or laptop. And so we do have audiobooks that are available as well. So we've got a lot of good things for you. We also have some accessibility technologies in the libraries. So if there's a need for that, we have those resources also. Yeah. But good question. And so, any other ideas that we might look at venturing down that path or expanding?
Maybe have a single library day
Okay.
and just bringing them over, like you said, expose her to the audiobooks, and that's what she needs. And when you mentioned crochet, that's funny because she's a whiz with crochet.
Is that right?
So
I
I'm
picked
sure
up with
if she crocheted something and listened to a book, it would be done real fast.
Absolutely.
She's really good. Most of us are. I did it before, but relearned once I came back. And just finding out, what other interests people have. And just making sure that they understand that the library is accessible to everyone.
Everyone.
No matter what their learning ability or disability may be. Just trying to bridge the gap within the city of Forest Park, because we are very self-contained. However, we're still under that Clayton County umbrella, and we still get exposure to the world.
Sure.
And so we never stop learning.
We have a group of seniors at our Lovejoy Library. They call themselves Ray's Old School Corner. They meet twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. They get together. There's probably 40 some odd participants in that group, and they do activities. They take field trips. I know on Wednesdays they have a jewelry making class. I think it would be a great idea to maybe look at something like that here at Forest Park Library. Can meet here on a regular basis.
And like I said, when our new city manager, he is diligent about expanding, getting us together so that we can expand as a city.
Indeed.
So I think that would be a great opportunity, once I get more information from Erica to, let him know that Clayton County Library System is offering other things other than what's at the senior center for our seniors.
Most definitely. Great.
He's in his first 100 days and he's moving.
Good deal. Looking very forward to it. Yeah. Now we have coffee, ladies. If you're interested, please help yourself.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Have literacy class?
We're expanding that. I think the bulk of our literacy classes now are more focused toward younger folks, but that is something, very good idea, and we can definitely build on that. Great idea. What else? Great. Kim, are there any other questions, or Andre, any other questions that came in online?
No questions online as of yet.
So it sounds like we're having a wrap.
Well, once again, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in, spending a little time with me, and I hope that I've answered some questions or at least enlightened, provided some information. And it looks like we've got a couple of new partnerships here on the horizon. So thank you again. And thank you again for this episode of Coffee with the Librarian, and we will see you next time. Thank you all.